Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Are you thinking about becoming a therapist? Well, let me absolutely roast your reasoning in this video. I'm going to be talking about 6 different bad reasons to become a therapist. And stick with me until the end because I think the last one might surprise you. Now, if you're new here, hello, my name is Allyssa Powers. I created this YouTube channel to teach you the things that grad school didn't so you can thrive in the mental health field. I have lots of therapist-y type videos, so please subscribe and stick around if this appeals to you. Now, I have been a therapist for going on 8 years now, and I have talked about this quite openly, but I did not know that much about therapy when I went to grad school. And I don't think my reasoning for becoming a therapist was super great, but I compiled a list of 6 different common reasons that I think a lot of people want to become therapists but aren't really the right reasons. And I am calling myself out in this video as well because these were some of mine. So the number one reason I hear is people say, I want to become a therapist because I love giving advice. Well, I hate to break it to you, but therapy is actually not professional advice giving. It is helping clients to follow their own values and make their own autonomous decisions. So you are not projecting your own opinions and values onto your client. You are helping guide them in figuring out the way they want their life to look. And of course, there are some exceptions, right? Like things like abuse or, suicidal behaviors. Those are more black and white of like, we don't want clients to do that. The advice is like, stay alive, right? But most of the time, we are going to be working in a framework that is non-judgmental, open, and not super advice focused. The next thing I hear is that people will say, well, I've been through a lot and I want to use that to help other people. And while, yes, I think most of us want to use our negative life circumstances that have happened for good and kind of redeem them, it is not your client's job to make you feel good. And on top of that, a lot of self-disclosure, so like sharing your personal story with clients, is actually more harmful than good and is really used with caution in the field. So if you've been through something, maybe like you've been through a narcissistic relationship and then your specialty is working with people who are recovering from narcissistic abuse, you're not going to be spending all day talking about your own experience. You are going to be talking about them and their experience, and it can actually come across as very like story topping to always be bringing up your own life circumstances. So that one's a little bit tricky. Next bad reason is I want to understand myself more. Like the therapist themselves wants to understand themselves more. And while all of us who are therapists are probably attracted to psychology and the mental health world for those reasons, it can be fun to analyze ourselves. That's why things like Myers-Briggs and the Enneagram is so popular, right? Because we're all a little self-obsessed and want to know more about us. But this is not the path to do that. Being in your own therapy and just reading and studying and learning about psychology on your own is probably a better path. You are going to burn out if your only reason for becoming a therapist is to understand yourself, and it's just not how the field works. Next bad reason, you want to be seen as wise. This is such an ego-driven reason, and I think if I had to call myself out, this is one of the reasons I wanted to become a therapist, I think, because therapists are seen as having some sort of special secret sauce that other people don't know about, and we are seen as having some like ultimate life advice. And I was really attracted to that for a lot of reasons. One, being raised really religiously, I think played into that for me, but a lot of us just want to be seen as the person who has all their stuff together and is an authority, but that is not a good reason. Next, romanticizing the role of the therapist. Oh my gosh, think of most movies, shows where there are therapists and they're sitting in their leather chair and there's a fireplace and a big bookcase. And while I love that, and I can think of multiple shows that have therapists whose offices I've seen and I've been like, oh my gosh, I'm in love. Like I would kill for an office like that. It's actually not very glamorous being a therapist, especially if you start out working in community mental health. Private practice can feel a little more bougie. You can have more control over your environment. And of course, like if you have all the money in the world to have a really nice office, then yes, it could feel glamorous. I'm not saying it's not. It could be for you if that's important to you. But it is day in and day out not super romantic. And a lot of sessions outside of just like, you know, how your office looks, a lot of sessions aren't like the groundbreaking romanticized sessions either. You're not going to leave every session with a client thinking, oh my gosh, I just helped them so much and that was amazing and I'm just like a great therapist. A lot of sessions are frustrating. You're going to be working with people that you don't always like or wouldn't be choosing to spend time with if they were not your client, right? So romanticizing the role, be so careful of that. And then last one, and maybe the best one in my opinion, because I think so many people fall into this. A bad reason to become a therapist is if you like psychology, but you don't actually like people, this is not the role for you, okay? There are so many people really interested in psych, so they think, okay, well, can't do anything with a bachelor's in psych, but I guess I can get a master's in clinical mental health or marriage and family therapy or social work and actually use those principles. And while, yes, we are a psychology-based profession, if you don't like working with people, you will not like this field. And a lot of what we do is listening, and the like actual psychology and like teaching clients how to think differently and using our modalities is actually a lot less of how we spend our time than just building rapport and a relationship. And actually all the research shows that the therapeutic alliance is the number one indicator of if a client is going to make progress and have a positive experience with therapy. So you need to be a people person, be relational, and want to talk to all different kinds of people to actually thrive in this field. Liking psychology and how the brain works is not enough. And there are actually lots of other fields that you could get into that would utilize psych in a less interpersonal way, like being a researcher, for instance. Then you aren't having to use those interpersonal skills to such an extreme, but you would still be able to be looking at psychological theories and research. So I hope that this video helped. Let me know down below, did I absolutely roast you? Did I miss one? I'm so curious, and I'm excited for you guys on your journey of becoming therapists. Drop a comment and let me know where you are. Are you applying to grad school? Are you in school? Are you a new grad? I love, love, love connecting and hearing from you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.